So you're going to have to go and get those.
What do you think about what happened to you?
I think it's terrible. People were trying to say that I'm a white supremacist, and they had all these, literally, white people come out and attack us, okay? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I'm not, like, no one here is a Proud Boy. No one at the event was a Proud Boy. And even if they were, like, look at what you're doing. This is not okay, you know? This is my teeth, my front teeth. It's not okay to do that. And it all was about big tech. It had nothing to do with left versus right. This was about big tech and Twitter, okay? And how they're wrongfully banning, shadow banning, and demonetizing millions of Americans every single day.
So I wanted to ask you about that. What was the main point that you wanted to get across? Why did you come here?
The whole point right here. We don't have the right to peacefully protest, obviously, okay? We don't have the right to free speech, and that's a fact. We don't have our First Amendment right. We don't have the right to peacefully protest, and that means we're no longer Americans. What are we becoming? That's a question I want people to answer. We're going to shrug this off. What are we becoming now? To where people are going to come and knock the teeth out of my mouth and punch me in the face and then yell Black Lives Matter at me. White people, okay? It doesn't make any sense to me, but that's what happened.
So I'd like to ask you a few questions about who you are. Can you give me a little bit about your background? I mean, you come from a small town in Texas, right?
Yeah, I'm from Mesquite, Texas, but I was born in Ethiopia, Mekelle, Ethiopia. And these guys have all these SJW points, right? Like, you be an immigrant, be black. I'm an immigrant. I'm black. I'm adopted. I come from a multiracial family. And so I have basically all the SJW points on top of having a sister who's a lesbian. Like, I have all the SJW points.
All the what points?
All the SJW points.
What's
No
SJW?
offense if you're a leftist, but that's how Republicans.
So what's SJW?
Like if you're black, if you're like what, if you're white, if you're Hispanic, or if you're SJW points is a social justice warrior, and you know how they virtue signal based off skin color, or all these other things. That's what I mean.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
And your work, what type of work do you do back in Texas?
I'm not going to comment on that just because after what happened today, there's people who want to kill me, and I'm not going to even give them the slightest hint of that.
And you feel that way?
Yeah, I don't even want to take the smallest chance because these people literally would have murdered us if it weren't for the police department. So shout out to San Francisco Police Department. They pulled up in these vans, they got us out quick. Gotta say, folks, Blue Lives Matter. I'd be dead without them, so thank you.
Yeah, I gotta say that when you're there, I mean, you get punched, blood coming out of your mouth, and you still get up on that stage and you speak.
Yeah.
And I gotta say that your group and your friends, colleagues, supporters, very small group compared to the sea of black, right? People in black clothing. Were you afraid? What did you think about that thing that you were looking at?
I knew it was gonna happen. I knew that they were gonna come and do all that. One of the things I wasn't expecting, though, was that they wouldn't even allow people to go inside the event. And that's the whole point of free speech, for people to be able to have an idea. Not only did they not allow us to have a free speech event, not only did they not allow us to freely, peacefully protest, on top of that, they wouldn't even allow people to think, maybe I should listen to this, maybe I should watch this. That guy who had to go to the hospital because they messed up his leg, he wanted to go to the event, he couldn't get inside the event. They stopped him from getting inside, okay? There's a guy...
the guy with the flag?
Yeah, and with the Latino guy, okay?
Well, I saw an older white guy with the flag.
Well, him too. They beat up a lot of people,
right.
And the reason I got my front teeth knocked out is because there's a guy who's trying to get inside the event, and unfortunately happened to be a white guy, and it's easy to bully white people, and they're trying to mob him. So I put my arm around him, I say, let's go inside the event. Because I start to see that they've been doing this for a long period of time. Been using violence, threats, and intimidation to scare people into not entering the event. And that was the whole issue right there. That's the whole reason for free speech.
So explain to me how you got involved as kind of an organizer. I mean, I saw that video that you had of you up in Portland where you took a stand trying to stop the protesting in Portland, right?
Yeah,
was that kind of a kicking off point for you to start being an organizer?
No, I just did it because someone needed to do it, because I see people getting murdered, I see people getting beaten up, like literally brutalized in the middle of the street, especially white people. What's happening to white people right now, it's the exact same thing as what happened to the black people in the 50s and 60s. Complete and utter racism, and if you tell people that racism against white people, just that it's real, they'll laugh at you, and they'll call you stupid. And it's insane. how bad it's getting with the violence, and that's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this because, oh, I want to be famous or whatever. You know, like I'm having to get my front teeth knocked out and people still won't say my name, okay? I'm doing this because the violence needs to end. We need our freedom back. We need fair elections. We need election interference from big tech to end. But there's too many people who just want to be hateful, and that's what I've seen today.
You know, when you talk about the Proud Boys weren't there, but in your initial poster, you had a couple of Proud Boy figures on that poster.
Yeah, and they decided not to come because all the death threats. I mean,
Oh, they're,
yeah, look at this.
so were
So
there
this is
actual
why.
death threats? Well, I
Yes,
didn't know, so
thousands,
tell me.
thousands, yeah.
By email, by text, by,
Yeah, and just to be clear, like, right now I'm not on the best terms with them. We're not best friends or anything, okay? This is strictly business.
okay.
But I hate it. And the only reason why I get so pissed off when people say these things about the Proud Boys is because I'm not the biggest fan of Joe Biggs right now. I'm not the biggest fan of Enrique Tarrio right now. He even put something out that was insulting me, pretty rude, after I get my teeth knocked out.
Oh, he did?
But yeah, he did, and you can check that out in his
What
parlor.
did he say? I didn't, I'll look it up.
He's been like, you see, I told him not to do that event. But here's the thing. The reason why I stand behind them is because people call them white supremacists, and I know them personally. They can be real douchebags sometimes. They can be real dickheads. Okay, I don't know if you can put that on there, but it's the truth. But they're not white supremacists. They're not racist. I know them personally. Okay, there's plenty of black people who are behind the camera and know them personally. They're not racist. And I'm tired of people calling people racist when they're not. Because this is what happens when they do that.
You know, and it's a really difficult time because it's hard to pigeonhole groups, and I don't want to do that. Can I just ask you a couple of things about your perspective, your views? Trump or Biden?
Trump or Biden?
Yeah.
I'll go with Trump.
Okay. So are you for immigration? Are you against immigration?
Well, I'm an immigrant, but when it comes to immigration, I bet that it's Antifa who told you that I'm anti-immigrant. I bet you saw that from them. It's okay, I'm just saying. I'm not holding that against you, it's okay. Here's the thing. I'm for immigration if it works. Can you actually say that it's working right now? I don't think it is. Because I see people coming in, and I see them hating America. I see them hating people like me, okay? Who just want what's best for America, who wants everyone to get along. I don't see that happening. I think that there's good immigrants that come across, but I think there's just too many ones that come across that don't come across because they love this country, because they want to be an American, they want to wave that flag, you know. I don't see that in people. I see that they want to have an easier life, which makes sense. But I don't want people here just because they want an easier life. I want people here because they want to be my brother and my sister, you know, because they want to be my family. That's what I want.
And you know how heated this is, and there are people on my pages, and I'm sure on your pages as well. They're saying that you were spewing hate and you got what you deserved. What do you say to them?
They say that I was spewing hate. What are you talking about? You say that anti-immigrant? That's what they said. Anti-immigrant? I'm an immigrant myself. Okay, give me a break here. You know, I just happen to love my country because I'm an immigrant and I live in America even though I'm African born. And the whole point of that is that I chose to be an American. That's the whole point of the immigration. You don't just say, I'm going to come to America, live the rest of my life, and still be a Mexican. No, you're a Hispanic American. You're an American. You better rep that if you're going to live here. Don't come here trying to start shit. Don't come here trying to start problems, okay? It's a commitment I made. On paper, it says I'm an American citizen, so I'm an American citizen.
And to circle back, your purpose for the rally today was to protest the banning and the suspensions at social media by
It had
by
nothing
companies
to
like Twitter.
do with immigration. It had nothing to do with Donald Trump. It had nothing to do with Joe Biden. Sure as hell had nothing to do with the Proud Boys. Not a single Proud Boy, not even one was there. Joe Biggs and Enrique Tarrio, they weren't there. The entire event was literally just about big tech and their racism and oppression against me, banning me over 14 times, shadow banning my current account. I used to get 5,000, 4,000 likes on most of my posts on Instagram. Now I only get about 300 to 1,000 likes on my posts. You know, it's insane. I see how it goes down. The views, I'd have like 10,000 to 100,000 views on the videos I post. And then the very second I announce the event, I immediately get nothing more than 2,000 views on anything I post, any video that I post. And they also immediately banned 5 of our speakers. Banned 5 of our speakers off Instagram when we announced that we're having our event. We announced the event on Facebook, and they said it was against their guidelines. They took it down. They also put a 7-day ban on all of our promoters, including Deanna Lorraine. And this is what they do. You know, this is their election interference. This is their fascism. You know, they're the true fascists. They're the true communists. It's them.
I want to be really clear. No one should be attacked the way that you were attacked.
I agree.
I'm saying that. That said, coming to San Francisco is just walking into the hornet's nest. I mean, we have Antifa here, as you knew, coming in here. Antifa's in Portland. I mean, why come to San Francisco and poke the bear like this?
I didn't talk to them. They decided to come after me and say, oh, you know, I'm going to put this on Twitter. I'm going to call this guy I don't even know, who's a black man, a white supremacist. I'm going to get all these angry people who don't know me, you know, to come and attack me like this. Here's the thing. The only reason, I'll say it for the 100th million time, Antifa, okay? You anti-white supremacist people just happen to attack black people 24/7. The only reason that we're here is because of big tech. It's because of Twitter. It's to protest them for a free speech rally. That's the only reason. We had nothing to do with Antifa. The only time we ever responded to them or talked to them is when they're putting our lives in danger, endangering our lives with their lies.
In the past couple of days, you saw the response online. You saw, I assume, you saw these accounts from Antifas calling for people to come and to wear black and to be aggressive. Did you have second thoughts about coming here,
No.
having seen, why not?
Well, here's the thing. I'm doing the right thing. They're doing the wrong thing. I said you're more than welcome to talk at our event. You're more than welcome to debate us. You can literally walk up to the microphone and call me every name in the book, and it'll be okay, as long as you're peaceful. I told them that. I invited them to join the event. Did they join the event? Of course not.
And you told them that in what form? Over
I told them
email,
that over
text?
social media. I said that on Instagram. I said that on Twitter, on all my socials that people see. And did they decide to talk with me? Did they decide to debate with me? No. They decided to do this to us. Because they hate us, because we think differently than them. Okay? And that's the whole issue here. They have a problem with people who have ideas in their head, or they think have ideas in their head, that people aren't allowed to have. That's what they think, that people aren't allowed to have this idea. Or else they are a fascist, they are a white supremacist, they are a racist. You really think I hate black people? You really think I'm a white supremacist? You know, I don't think so. I think you had to be dumb to believe that. That's what I think.
What message do you have for Vice President Biden?
Biden, do ideas do this to people's entire front set? Ideas? Really? Antifa's very real. I'd be dead right now, Joe Biden, if it were not for San Francisco Police Department. They saved our lives, not just my life, all the people behind this camera. Like, there's about 20 people on the other side of this camera. They saved our lives.
What message do you have for Donald Trump?
To me. Okay, to you? All right.
Dan, would you mind asking that one more time? I have a good two shot set up now.
What message would you give to Donald Trump?
Donald Trump, everyone knows that you would already automatically be winning the election if it weren't for the pandemic, and we shouldn't let a pandemic change the fact that you're going to win the election, and when it comes down to it, it won't. I'm just reminding people that Joe Biden himself said that Donald Trump was wrong for ending the travel between America and Europe, ending the travel between America, and China. So Joe Biden said he was going to do less about the pandemic than Donald Trump did. So you're going to vote for Joe Biden over Trump, over a pandemic that Joe Biden would not have done nearly enough to stop. By the way, this is a pandemic. You can't wave a magic wand to make it go away, okay? It's not like having a little cold that goes away in a couple days. This is here to stay. People are going to continue to get sick, okay?
So I wonder if do you have any second thoughts about having come here?
No, I don't. I mean, it's a shame that this is what happens when you come here. It shouldn't be. I don't think that people who live in San Francisco want it to be like, I don't think this is how you want to live. I don't think you want your city, your state to be like this. Because it wasn't like this not too long ago, and now you're saying, why would a black man come here and decide to exercise his rights?
No, I want to be clear. I think that everybody ought to be able to stand safely on a street corner and talk, no matter what your issues are. And I think we should be able to have conversations back and forth between the two of us.
Of course.
So I do not support at all violence at all. I don't support intolerance that way. I need to ask you though, how did you come to actually go to the White House to an event with Donald Trump? I saw the photograph on your page.
Oh, that's a great question. So, I went to the border, and I showed people what the border looked like, because there's such a big debate on like, no, this is what it looks like, this is what it looks like. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. So that's the Rio Grande, and I showed people, you know, they can just swim across, and it's that simple. And just to be fair, there wasn't anyone crossing, okay? It's not like people are crossing the border every single second. That's not true. It's not like millions of people, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people are crossing every single day. The only problem is that it's easy to come across, and you can be any kind of person. You can be a good person, you can be, you know, a terrorist and a murderer.
You did in the president's office, saw that, and they invited you to the White House?
No, Candace Owens told Donald Trump's workers to personally invite me, but we're not in good terms, me and Candace Owens anymore.
Why not?
Well, she's a grifter and a fraud, so I don't like people who are fake. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there something else I'm missing? Is there something else you want to add or emphasize?
Not really. I mean, you guys know that this is wrong, and the sad thing is that I don't think there's that many people in San Francisco who are going to fight to save the city. I should be able to have a rally or have a peaceful protest without people trying to murder me or kill me, okay? That should be a thing. Because they say all these things, you know, like racism or sexism. You can't say it's racism when it was a black man's idea. It's a black man's event, and you knock this black man's front teeth out. This has nothing to do with racism, Antifa, you're white. This all has to do with ideology, and you're telling people that they're not allowed to believe something, they can't think a certain way. And that's not okay. That's fascism, that's what it is. They're book burners, and it has to stop. Them and big tech. So yeah.
Well, I really appreciate your comment, and I hope you heal well.
Thank you.
So are you going to keep on organizing and being out there and doing events like this?
Well, it's not like it has some type of agenda. It's just like I see that things are getting messed up, you know, and terrible things are happening to people, and I see how the country is getting burned down. That's the only reason I go out.
I mean, but I'm trying to figure out whether this event today is dissuading you from doing this in the future.
Oh, absolutely not. This just means I need to do it more. I need to make sure that other people don't go through what I just went through. They shouldn't lose their front teeth just because they have an idea that someone else disagrees with. People should be able to have safe public discourse. Y'all don't have that in San Francisco. It's unfortunate. You know, you're not going to see a lot of people walking around San Francisco wearing a MAGA hat, are you? I think we all know why. That's sad. It is sad. You know, you take pride in the fact that there's no Trump supporters here. They are here. There's thousands and thousands of them here, and they're afraid to even say who they are. That's what you turned into San Francisco into, and it's really sad. I think you should save San Francisco from that. I don't really think you believe in that. You should save yourselves.
I appreciate your time.
Dan, if you want to hang tight, I'm going to get a reverse too with the light on you.
Yeah, you might just be killed for wearing a political hat, remember?
Or an HRC hat.
You think I'm gonna kill him for an HRC hat?
No, of course not. I'm trying to be playful with you, man.
Yeah.
You just gave him a hard time, that's all.
No, I wasn't giving him a hard time. He got offended for some reason.
I know, it's just, in 20 years of doing this, I've never been questioned for any article of clothing.
I didn't question you. I just asked.
You did ask me.
You're wearing it.
Yeah, you did
So,
ask
oh,
me a
you're a-
question, yeah.
No, when you say question that way, it makes it sound like I'm like you're doing it in a negative way. I was just
Well, you mentioned
asking.
it.
Yeah, I just mentioned it.
Right, and that's never happened in 20 years for me. So
Okay.
it was a little
I don't care if
unusual,
it's at
I'm
all.
not gonna lie.
Well, it happens every single
I didn't
time I
even
wear a
prepare
hat, so-
speech. I was walking through
Good
to
point.
do it.
But they actually attacked me, and
There's
I
no
went.
agenda.
No,
Yeah.
fair enough.
But HRC is just a coincidence that is also Hillary Rodham Clinton. I was not referring to that.
Oh, I
It's
see.
the Human Rights
I see.
Campaign, which is written on the
Yeah.
back of your
Yeah,
hat.
no,
so-
fair enough, I see your point now. I didn't realize it was even
Yeah.
her initials.
Yeah.
They were
That'd be a little weird.
Well, you said Hillary. I didn't say Hillary. You said
That's not gonna
Hillary,
happen. I'm gonna take a stand.
Interesting.
which we also have on video. So
Yes, sir.
So this is this is something new for you.
Being here in San Francisco, protesting big tech.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I was on the first
Your organization, what's your .com again?
teamsaveamerica.com.
You're on the other side, right, James?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, dude. If we had merch right now, we'd probably be making like tens and tens of thousands of dollars.
Well, I was looking at the merch page, and there's no merch.
Yeah, because that wasn't even we weren't even trying to make money. If we do make money, it's gonna go right back into the next event.
Right.
Like I'm not pocketing it, okay? And that's the whole thing.
And I wasn't inferring that. I
No.
wasn't inferring that. I mean,
Yeah.
it was clearly to do events and to travel the country and to speak, you did
Yeah.
take some money to pay the expenses, obviously. Wow. So I know that you don't want to talk about your career back in Texas, but I assume that it's not like in politics, or it's not, yeah.
No, not even close. Yeah. It's actually pretty private, you know, like a one-on-one thing, you know, contractors. But I can't say, I'm not gonna say what.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
And this was purely you having a fire in your gut about the actions that social media companies were taking against you and your friends and colleagues.
Yeah, because you see what they're doing, and big tech is the biggest part of the reason why Antifa exists. They're the biggest part of the reason why. Because they're telling people, we're gonna outlaw hate speech, right? I don't know if the camera's still rolling, is it?
It is.
Okay.
Dan, what I'm doing is I'm actually
Right,
making
because
this.
I'd like to answer that question.
Yes, that same question. if you don't
Because
mind.
I have
okay.
I have the
It's
perfect
sure.
answer for you.
Okay,
It's totally good.
cool, we
I
got
have-
that.
if you wanna re-ask that, I have the answer that I think everyone needs to hear on all sides, so, yeah.
You know, it's gonna be an hour-long special if we go much longer.
Alright, this is gonna be the last one, I just wanted to do this.
No,
Yeah.
please go ahead. I've got this camera going and that camera going.
Okay, so what was the question again?
Now I'm fried after this long day. I've forgotten the question.
Okay,
The question was, this was just purely you having a fire in the belly about the actions that the social media companies were taking against you, your friends, and your colleagues.
absolutely, I'm a straightforward guy, I'm a straight shooter, if it was for anything else, I would say it. I've done things that were for other reasons, I have, but this was 100% just for big tech. And the reason why I have such a problem with big tech is because they're responsible for Antifa existing. They're responsible for that. The same as how the media is responsible for it. Because they've outlawed hate speech. Okay, they banned me 14 times in a row now. They've outlawed the hate speech. Like, you know, you can't be sexist, racist, xenophobic, homophobic, even though people will just say what they think without being any of those things. And they'll say, oh, it's hate speech. So what does Antifa do? They come to my event and they literally knock out my front teeth. They attack everyone. Why? Because that's how big tech would do it. They would just ban us. And they're just banning us in real life. That's what Antifa is doing, banning us in real life. It's the exact same thing. That's why we're protesting. And Antifa doesn't realize by knocking out my front teeth and literally ending a free speech rally that everyone's invited to. Everyone is invited to speak at. Everyone's invited to debate at. By doing that, they give us the biggest win possible. Like, we could have gone and protested big tech and Twitter. We could have had the entire free speech rally from the beginning to the very end. And this is still 100 times bigger of a win. Because now you're sitting here right in front of me and you're just like, why did this happen? I'm here to tell you, because this is a real thing. Free speech is being destroyed. You see, it's gone if we don't do something now. And if we lose free speech, everyone will suffer. We'll all lose our freedom and everyone's going to suffer. And we'll lose our power as Americans, as individuals. And it's only going to be the elite who have the power. They can manipulate our perception of reality. They can make us believe things that aren't true. They can create more skirmishes, more left versus right, violent dynamic to where we're always fighting, getting angry at each other. When really, we should be able to do this right here. Sit across the aisle from each other and just talk to each other because we're human beings. It's the greatest part of being an American.
Hey, James, what time is it?
I have.
It's 9:54.
9:54.
But yeah, that's not enough for me.
Can I ask,
Unless you want to ask more. Yeah.
there's only one other question I want to ask.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's
I'm
get to
sorry
know.
about that.
No, not at all.
What is that?
Normally I'm better, but I feel like it's after they knocked out my teeth, it's already going to be
Travis,
interviewed, so we're
who is
good.
this?
I don't know whose phone that is.
No, don't be. Yeah, let's do it.
Want to bring the camera back for him?
Can you see my phone? Sure.
It's over there. It ran out of space, so I'm recording with mine.
Can I get one two-shot question with you mic'd up? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Before we go, yeah, just so we get.
So I'm just understanding, when you say a two-shot question, what are you saying?
Like, so it's framed like this and you're mic'd up, and so you're asking me something.
Okay, yeah.
Just for a cutaway purpose or
No, that's fine.
something like that. Yeah, you're pro. He's on one, you're on two. Mic check real quick?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, we're good. Yeah.
The only other question I had was, we have that video of the guy punching you, and you can see the tattoos on his arm. You can see his face pretty clearly, I think. do you forgive him already? Is it too early? If you had a chance to sit here and talk to that guy who knocked out your 2 front teeth, what would you say to him?
I feel bad for you, man. You don't even know me, and you happen to be a black man. You punched your own color, literally one of your own people without even thinking about it. And it just goes to show the times that we're in. We're not thinking, we don't care about each other. It's just left versus right. It's just punch this Nazi in the face, even if that Nazi happens to be a black man who's clearly not a Nazi, obviously. You know, I feel bad for them because they're destroying themselves. They're destroying their own lives. There's so much more to life, and they don't have it. They don't have it at all, and it's so sad, really.
And I asked you this before, I want to ask you on the camera here. What message do you have for Joe Biden?
Joe Biden, I have an idea, and my idea is Antifa is not an idea, and this is wrong. 100%. Completely, totally, and utterly wrong. And it should never happen again. And you should condemn Antifa. Everyone should condemn Antifa. Why would you not condemn Antifa? And if Antifa is just an idea, then why won't you condemn the idea? There you go.
Thanks very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Good to
it.
meet you. Good luck.
Good to meet you
Feel better.
too. If you want to stick around some beers, I know this guy's a little bit of rough time, but we need to drink the beers.
Oh, no,
you know, and get it
we
over
got
with.
that 11 o'clock hovers
Yeah.
over us. We gotta get that on. But no, truly, thank you for your time and
Absolutely.
very articulate.
Thank you for letting me talk. I appreciate it.
Of course.
You gave me more of a chance than Antifa did.
Well, one of the wonderful things about local news, as opposed to national, as you probably know, is that my colleagues that I've worked with for years always get both sides, and we value both sides, and we never make judgments in our mind of who's right and who's wrong.
That's cool that you guys are like that, because Portland is not that way.
Really?
Yeah.
Portland local
I
news?
get better.
I've had local
Yeah, I get
local
better news
San
colleagues
Francisco
from
news
national
do
news
fake
and
news about me
international
before
news.
several
About you?
times.
Really?
Yeah, me myself personally. Yeah, so I know that happens. I'm glad that you guys aren't doing that. Yeah, I'm glad that you guys aren't doing
I
that.
really try to.
But yeah, we definitely got the accountability. So don't try it.
That is
Because
really
we have
not
the-
worried.
we have the
I'm not
footage.
worried at all.
Yeah,
I don't take people out of context.
good.
Good job. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too.
Yeah, we'll see you there. We'll see you back in Portland again.
Yeah, at some point.
How about
I'm gonna get some new front teeth first.
how about next Sunday?
Well, I'll be doing my math homework thing.
So where do you guys live?
As soon as I get,
You from Florida? We're in Florida.
Miami.
Oh, very cool.
Thanks for
I have
letting me
a
have.
colleague that works at WFOR in Miami, so.
Yeah, I'll say it.
Sasha Andrade, she was the anchor for a
Oh
while.
yeah,
Where
hey.
do you?
All right, pleasure to meet you, man.
I just know the call letters are WFOR, but do you like it down there? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll figure out some
I'm
way to
Cuban,
get there.
so like that's where all my people are at.
Yeah,
I'm drinking.
Yeah. One of you just have to sit on my lap.
probably.
It's not the top, it's just try not to,
Pour it into your mouth.
We'll figure some way out.
Oh, and for the record, I live in San Francisco, and I'm one of the speakers. So if you guys want to do a spin like they're all coming from out of town, maybe just leave that out because it'll be embarrassing for you.
So are you the one who got the ticket on?
Yes,
on
that's
the
me.
bus?
Yeah, if you want to do a separate interview for that, then totally, you can find my info online. It's very public.
someone can meet her on I-5 somewhere.
Give yourself?
Sure, yeah, you can find it on our website. It's Daniel Goodwin. Just
Oh yeah,
pull it
yeah.
up. Yeah,
Is there a phone number on you?
it's on there. Yeah, if you just go to the website. Yeah,
Okay, I'll look it up.
it's not hidden.
I mean that's a great story.
Yeah.
Closer to Reno.
I mean, but
right
why
in,
not wear a mask on?
She's right now, isn't she?
I just don't believe in it. Yeah.
Oh, you guys gonna take our microphone?
I almost did. Honestly.
It's easy to do.
I completely forgot.
No, that's a good sign. That means you're not thinking about the recording. You're just being yourself.
No,
So that's-
I never think about the recording. I'm just being myself.
yeah.
It's sad that
Good.
it's sad they couldn't hear what I was saying last night because what I was saying last night is a lot better than that
Yeah.
interview. This interview, I mean, is obviously really good, but I'm saying like I'm really good when I don't have all kinds of stuff going crazy in my head. You know.
I totally get it.
Mhm.
You got injured, so your brain isn't thinking right now. But I think you got your point across. And
Thank you.
Appreciate it again. It was nice of you to let us come over.
We appreciate you guys coming out and covering his story too.
Yeah.
Well, that actually means a lot. It
Yeah,
really
thank-
means a lot.
Thank you.
It means
Thank
a
you
lot
so
to
much.
us, too. Like you guys coming out and covering his story, that means a lot to us.
Wow. I take that to heart in a very good way. So, would it be possible for maybe one of y'all to carry that out?
I'll carry it.
with me? Thank you.
Thanks, Daniel.
All right. take
Yeah,
care,
no
guys.
problem.
Hey, thank you for coming out and covering his story.
Daniel.
Daniel.
Seriously, bro.